Hi folks, I'm Nick. Back with a new chapter. Hope you enjoy this. Chapter 4, A Devil Fruit? A Request? During the fight between Hancock and World Marine Headquarters. Oh? So Buggy and Hancock are fighting world pirates? A Marine soldier commented as he talked through the den and Mushi. He was receiving the news on World's fight against Hancock, who sent her unwillingness towards joining the fight as a World, which was surprising and confusing. Her sister's hostage? Marine received more reports. The people currently available at the headquarters was one vice admiral, who was the only one who could order them on further situation. A Marine ran towards the vice admiral's office and knocked the door politely. He heard it come in and opened the door. He was a tall, light-skinned, lean, yet muscular man with short dark hair, a beard, sideburns, and sunglasses. He had a spoon sticking to his cheek, which was comical, yet his expression remained neutral. The Marine saluted the vice admiral, getting a nod back. "What is it?" he asked. "Vice Admiral Virgo, we have received reports on Pirate Empress Boa Hancock engaging in a fight with world pirates." Virgo was a vice admiral and head of G5 branch of Navy. He was also secretly a member of Don Quixote pirates. "Why did she choose to fight him? Didn't we receive a letter of her unwillingness to participate previously if I am not wrong?" Virgo asked. World was a dangerous pirate. He was in the level 6 of Impelled Down, before escaping the chaos that happened during Marineford War. It didn't make sense why Hancock wanted to fight World suddenly. "They said that they heard World talking about taking Hancock's sisters as hostage," the Marine said. "Ah, that would explain why she is fighting." While Virgo had no personal vendetta against Hancock, her attitude towards his captain infuriated him. And he was sure she would never be one that would willingly join their new era of pirates. She could only prove to be a thorn later. He didn't think someone like Hancock could defeat World, it was a set case. But World might be distracted by their fights that they wouldn't notice Marine ships firing at them and sinking them. It would be a two-win at one stone. They could also make the Kaja pirates subordinate of Don Quixote pirates by saving the crew. "Prepare to fire at the ship. World must be defeated at all costs," Virgo ordered. The Marine hesitated. "But sir, what about Hancock and her sisters?" he asked. "Are you questioning my orders? I am sure they might escape from the attack. We must hit World when he is distracted," Virgo said. The Marine, sufficiently intimidated, immediately ran away and conveyed the order. "What? We are supposed to fire at them? Are you sure that's the order?" the Marine commander on the warship asked. "Yes, that is the order from Vice Admiral Virgo." "All right, we will do it." While the Marine commander was sad to see such beauty die, she was pirate at the end of the day. "Men, prepare the cannons." As the Marines fired, obliterating the ship that was in front of them, one involved was watching clearly, so clearly what could have happened if she was in that ship any longer. They wouldn't hesitate. They were world government's lackeys after all. As the ship slowly sailed back to Rusukana, Luffy was outside, watching as the wave hits the ship and rocking side to side. He was no stranger to killing. While he'd never willingly killed anyone till now, he has hit several Marines on the spots which was instant kill. He just never looked back on them. But he actively involved in not hitting those he actually fought, which showed his willpower to hold back. He desperately wanted to kill people like Arlong, Lucci and Tenryubito. But the temptation was always overcome by him. But this time, it went out of control, and he actually killed someone. Was it perhaps because the guy saw what is on Hancock's back? Or was it because it was him that was strangely feeling his bloodlust out of control? He didn't know. He wasn't much smart, but his feelings were always on place. His intuition pointed out that he was feeling something off. That he was forgetting something. He didn't know what it was. He wasn't going to whack his brain on it now, but he would find about it eventually. "Luffy-sama, Hancock-sama wants to meet you," a Kaja pirate said. "All right, I will be there," Luffy replied with a smile. When Luffy entered her room, Sandra, Sonia and Maria was sitting near the bed, all bandaged up. Hancock was lying on the bed. She also was bandaged in various places. Her face was pale and tear tracks were visible on her cheeks, which indicated she was crying. "Yo, Hancock, Sandra, Sonia, Maria. How are you guys feeling?" Luffy asked. "I am feeling good, Luffy," Sandra, Sonia said. "Same here," came from Maria. "I am feeling good in terms of physical health, Luffy," Hancock said, blush spreading across her cheeks. She, that's nice to hear. So, you wanted to meet me?" he asked. Hancock's face dulled. It was the same with her sisters. "Yes, first, I wanted to thank you for saving my sisters and my life," Hancock said earnestly. "Yes, thank you, Luffy," the sisters echoed. "What are you saying about? We are friends. Of course, I will help," he said, laughing. "Is that so? I am happy to hear it." Hancock smiled. "I put my pride before my sisters, and it cost me. I should have been more aware about fighting such monster, but I underestimated him and overestimated my ability. At this rate, I won't be able to protect anyone. Hence why I have a request to ask you," Hancock said, bowing her head. "Huh?" Luffy tilted his head sideways. "What is it?" The ship reached Susukana, and they saw Rayleigh waiting on the shore. Luffy eagerly jumped towards him. Hancock's sisters also came out. "Sandra, Sonia, Maria. How do you feel?" Rayleigh asked. "We feel fine," Rayleigh-san, Maria replied. "That's good to hear," he replied. "Rayleigh, let us continue the training," Luffy yelled enthusiastically. Yes, Rayleigh replied, laughing. "Marine headquarters. Did you receive any information on who died on the ship?" Vice Admiral Virgo asked. "We received the word that World died. His body was confirmed in the wrecks. But we couldn't confirm the death of Pirate Empress," the Marine informed. How peculiar," Virgo said. "Did she escape? Or did she die so brutally that her body parts couldn't have found?" Virgo didn't know. "Okay. I will inform the higher-ups about this. Do not mention anything about the potential death of Pirate Empress. Let's just inform that she disappeared after fight," Virgo ordered. "What should I do about it, Rayleigh?" Luffy asked. "You say you feel like it's calling to you?" Rayleigh asked, raising his eyebrows. "Yes. I don't know why. But it's weird that I feel that. Normally I would say don't eat, but I will leave it up to your decision," Rayleigh said. Luffy looked at it for a few seconds before shoving it into his mouth fully. He then realized it was a bad idea as the awful taste made him gag. Then his entire body lit up in fire. Rayleigh, alarmed, jumped back into a safe distance to watch what was happening. This could very well kill his prodigy and there would be nothing he could do to save him. A primal scream tore from Luffy's throat and he felt his entire body in pain. Luffy's hair turned white and danced like flames. Luffy's eyes were white as the scream continued. Rayleigh's eyes widened as the white flames from Luffy's hair rose up to height and another flame also rose up. But this was in complete contrast to the first flame. This was the blackest of blacks and it battled with the white flames. The area around him was destroyed and half of Luffy's body was complete opposite to the other. Images flashed in Luffy's mind, images of him returning from the 2 years break, meeting his crew, Fishman Island. The images stopped. He found himself in his mindscape. It was a room with half the side painted black and the other completely white. He sat up, thinking about the images he just felt. He didn't know why he saw them. Was it the future? Was it past? Was it just imaginary? What was the fruit he just ate? Luffy didn't realize he wondered that aloud. The information flowed into his mind, causing his eyes to widen like crazy. He could feel that this is going to change how he behave. Before he could ask more questions, he felt himself falling into a void. He tried to grab onto something, but he couldn't. He closed his eyes, falling into the darkness. Rayleigh could see the black flame and white flame join together instead of fighting each other. Luffy's scream stopped, and he started to float in air. The flames rotated fast around each other. It was beautiful to see. Rayleigh thought he saw scales on Luffy's body before it disappeared. Luffy's body grew a bit, his muscles become big until it tripped of his current vest. His thigh and leg also become more stronger by look. After what felt like hours, but only 2 minutes, Luffy fell onto the ground, breathing heavily. Rayleigh ran towards his protege. "Luffy-kun, are you alright?" Rayleigh's concern was evident on his voice. Luffy coughed a few times, the gag taste still present on his mouth. He fuzzily opened his eyes. Rayleigh stifled a gasp on looking his eyes. It was no longer just black. It contained a golden ring around his iris, with black filling it. The golden ring felt like molten lava flowing inside his eyes, and the white and black parts looked like flames dancing around and heating the lava. "Yes, Rayleigh." His voice was hoarse but was broader than usual. "Just a bit tired." "Thank God." Rayleigh breathed a sigh of relief. "I am going to sleep for some time," Luffy said. Before Rayleigh could reply, Luffy was out cold. Rayleigh's sweat dropped. How does he do that? How could he sleep so fast? He questioned himself. After 10 hours of sleep, Luffy finally found himself awake. He looked around, but his nose was attacked by the smell of meat getting cooked. He got up and ran towards that location. "Rayleigh, can I have some?" Luffy spotted the man cooking the meat. Rayleigh just laughed out loud. "Of course. I still don't know how you sense the food getting cooked while you sleep," he said. She Luffy laughed while grabbing a big piece of meat and started eating it. "So, how do you feel now? Do you feel anything different?" Rayleigh asked. "I feel fine. I also feel much more powerful, which I know why," Luffy said. "Oh? Did you come to know what fruit it was?" Rayleigh asked. "Yes. It is the..." Luffy revealed the name of the fruit and its powers on a base level. Rayleigh's eyes were as wide as saucers. It was the fact that the original fruit of Luffy held unimaginable power, but combined with this, it would be unstoppable. This was on its own very powerful. If Luffy could train himself to access at his will, they would be very few who would be able to match Luffy on a fight, very doubtful that anyone could win. "Do you realize the potential you have in your body?" Rayleigh asked. "Yes. I have to train so much, else I might harm my own friends and family," Luffy replied. "Then, let's not waste any more time and start with it already," Rayleigh said. Luffy jumped up excited for a spar as always. Revolutionary Headquarters, Baltigo. "What? So, World got defeated by him? How sure are you?" "Our marine spies said a different story," a revolutionary asked. "We are very sure. While the ships were busy on focusing on the World's ship, we silently infiltrated the ship and witnessed the whole thing at live," the other person replied. "All right, I will convey this to Dragon-san." The revolutionary went towards Dragon's cabin and knocked twice before entering. But he couldn't find their leader, but he spotted Nico Robin reading some files there. She turned towards the revolutionary. Sorry to disturb you, but is Dragon-san available?" he asked. "He just went out for some work. Is there anything important to inform him?" Robin asked. "It is not important, but I think he might want to know about this," the revolutionary said. "If so, you can tell me. I will inform him when he returns," Robin replied. Okay, sure. I think you might also want to know as it involves Straw Hat Luffy," the revolutionary said, gaining Robin's interest. He then proceeded to convey the events of fight between Luffy and World. "I will inform this to Dragon-san. You may leave," Robin said. The revolutionary nodded and left. "You grew so much within such quick time, huh? I guess I have to ramp up my training," Robin thought to herself. "Somewhere in paradise." "Is that so? Straw Hat Boy did that?" a voice replied. "Yes. I see. Thank you for the information." He cut the call. "Tell him I called him here," he ordered one of his maidens. You grew so much in this short time? I see the dragon's blood is very strong after all, he thought to himself. It was time to increase the training. Another 6 months ran by quickly. Luffy's progress increased exponentially. Rayleigh won barely any fight anymore. It was on an odd chance that Luffy's handicap was so high that he couldn't function well. Did Rayleigh had any chances of beating him? Rayleigh was sure Luffy would beat him even in his prime at this stage. The New World monsters were at a huge level, but Luffy now could match them easily. There was around 10 months left before the 2-year ends. There was nothing that's left for Rayleigh to teach. Luffy was sufficiently powerful to face anything that will be thrown in his way. It was up to Luffy to decide what to do for the next 10 months. So, really, you are leaving? Luffy asked while biting through a piece of meat. Yes, there is nothing left for me to do here. I will be returning to Sabaody. I will await your return in 10 months. He spoke. Done. We will meet again in 10 months then, Luffy said, smiling widely. What do you plan on doing? Rayleigh asked. I think he will be traveling back and forth to Amazon Lily often. I have a request to fulfill there. I will also be training my other devil fruit as much as possible. It can still be erratic, and it has changed my emotions a lot already. I want to be in control as much as possible, Luffy replied. Oh, I see. Then good luck. We will meet again. Rayleigh waved his goodbye and swam away. Okay then. I guess I will wait till Hancock comes to meet me again, he said, and promptly went to sleep. Hancock, are you sure you want me to do this? He asked. Yes, Luffy. You are the only one who I trust with this. And also, you are much more powerful than anyone present on this island. There is no one else in better position than you, Hancock said. Flashback. Hence why I have a request I have to ask you, Hancock said, bowing her head. Luffy tilted his head sideways. What is it? I want you to be our sparring partner, Hancock said. What? Me as sparring partner? Luffy asked. Yes. You are the only one who I trust for that. Others might try to take advantage of it. But I know you will never do like that. So please do this, Hancock asked. Huh. Okay, sure. Luffy said. Hancock slowly rubbed the tears out of her eyes and smiled. Flashback ends. Alright then. Come at me, Luffy said, his hand getting a black coating. Hancock grinned and charged. Luffy, it is time. The ship is waiting for you, Marguerite yelled. Yeah, I'm coming, Luffy said. He walked towards the big tree, at the foot of which was his hat and the Vivo card. Man, has it been 2 years already? He said to himself, looking at the hat. He grabbed it and walked towards Marguerite. Marguerite loaded her bow and drew it towards the 3 huge animals that looked intimidating. They were slowing approaching her with drool dropping from their mouth. Oi, Luffy's strong voice rumbled. Watch it. She is my friend. A glare and those animals were subdued, falling at the feet intimidated. Amazing, he is like the king of the jungle, Maria commented. And my king as well, Hancock swooned. Marguerite breathed a sigh. Luffy, ship is ready to sail at any moment. Okay, thanks, he said and walked towards the animals. I became friends with these guys. So, I couldn't eat them. They look so delicious though, he said, salivating at the thought of eating them. The animals let out a small whine. Don't worry, Luffy. We have plenty of food at our ship, Hancock said. This might make me a thoughtful wife in our future. I don't think I am going to get married. But thank you for the food, Luffy replied. Ah. I can't stop loving you even though you are so bitter, she cried. Rayleigh left this island almost 10 months ago. He must be waiting for you at Sabaody to meet you. Yes, he had taught me everything he could within that period, Luffy replied. He was wearing a blue vest which exposed his arms and abs. He was around 6 feet 7 inches in height. He wore a blue trouser, his calves visible. He had black coat on his shoulders with golden trimmings. It was fluttering, giving him a strong and intimidating look. Many Kaja pirates had pink cheeks but covered it in order to not face their empress's wrath. "Alright, let's go," Luffy said, putting his hat on his head, completing his look. "Luffy, before that, I have a request for you," Hancock said. "What is it?" he asked. "I want to join your crew," she replied. Luffy yelled, "Thank you for watching this video. If you like, please like, share and subscribe, and wait for my next video.